I've got a piece of paper on this table. Came out of the printer at the Beaumont Heart Institute 4 days ago. Dr. Reyes handed it to me the way doctors hand you things, when they want you to see the numbers before they try to explain them. Folded once in half, like that's going to soften anything. Ejection fraction, 38%. Normal is above 55. I know that now. BNP, 612. Normal is below 100. Troponin, 0.04, which is the exact threshold for myocardial damage. Not under it, not over it, right on the line. I've spent my whole life being measured. The first time they measured me officially was February 1978, Tampa, Florida, the NFL Scouting Combine. I was 22 years old. They measured everything. 40-yard dash, 4.91 seconds. Bench press at 225 pounds, 27 repetitions. Vertical jump, 30 inches. Wonderlic test, 19 out of 50. Those numbers said round 4. Pick 102. Good enough. Not great. Good enough. The Houston Oilers took me 102nd overall, and that was the beginning of everything that is happening right now. In this mobile home, on this Thursday afternoon, 4 days after those numbers from Dr. Reyes, one day before I drive to the clinic and let Sherry put a needle in my left glute and inject 200 milligrams of testosterone cypionate into the muscle, because if she doesn't, I won't be able to get out of this chair in 2 weeks. My own body doesn't make testosterone anymore. Hasn't since at least 1995, maybe longer. I need you to understand something about what happened in the summer of 1981. I was not tricked. I want to be precise about that. Nobody hid anything from me. Reginald Mickey Hayworth, strength and conditioning coach for the Oilers, 58 years old when he died of a heart attack in 2003. Mickey called me into his office after practice and laid out exactly what he was offering and roughly what it did. He had the bottles on the shelf behind his desk. Dianabol, Ciba-Geigy, oral tablets, 25 milligrams per day. And Deca-Durabolin, 200 milligrams per week, injected intramuscularly. He said, Bear, you're good, but you're 245 pounds at defensive end. The median for your position right now is 260. You want to still be here in 3 years, you need to close that gap. My agent had told me the same thing 2 weeks earlier. The Oilers were offering $72,000 a year for the second contract. He said I needed to come into camp at 270 before I could negotiate anything better. I sat in Mickey's office and I did the arithmetic. It took maybe 4 minutes. With bigger contract, longer career, roster security. Without, same 245 pounds, probably cut when they found a rookie who cost less and weighed more. I said yes. I am still saying yes. I said yes 31 consecutive years ago into a clinic on Highway 105, every other Thursday, Sherry and the needle and the $87 copay. The math in 1981 was correct. The math is still correct. Without the injection, my body does not produce sufficient testosterone to function. That is permanent. The medical term is hypogonadotropic hypogonadism. The hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, suppressed chronically for 7 years of exogenous androgens, never recovered function. At least 30% of long-term users. I am in that 30%. Mickey Hayworth is dead. My ex-wife Janelle is dead. Pancreatic cancer, 2019. I didn't go to the funeral. Dale Jr. asked me not to. I made it to 295 pounds by the 1983 season. By 1985, peak cycle, 30 milligrams Dianabol daily, 400 milligrams Deca weekly, 400 milligrams testosterone cypionate weekly, just under a gram of testosterone equivalent per week. I had 43.5 career sacks and a Pro Bowl alternate selection, and my name on a wall in a Beaumont pizzeria. The Dianabol aromatizes. Estrogen builds. In August 1985, I had surgery to remove glandular breast tissue. 4-centimeter U-shaped scars under each nipple. Janelle never asked. I told her lipoma, a man-sized body thing. She accepted that. And I understood, somewhere in the part of me that was still doing arithmetic, that I had just converted the cost of what I was doing into a kind of debt I was keeping in a separate ledger. The Achilles went on October 16, 1988. Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh, third quarter. I was getting off the line and it happened at the moment of maximum force. The tendons degrade with chronic androgen exposure. Collagen synthesis disrupted. The muscle outgrows what the connective tissue can bear. It sounded like a dry stick snapping. I knew before I hit the turf. 14 months of rehabilitation. Preseason 1989, the Oilers released me. No offer from another team. I was 32 years old with a body that looked like it was built for a sport it could no longer play. January 1995. Dr. Henry Matheson, urologist, Beaumont. I was 39. Total testosterone, 78 nanograms per deciliter. Normal range, 300 to 1,000. LH, 0.4. Normal, 1.7 to 8.6. Dr. Matheson looked at the paper for a long moment and said, "Mr. Crockett, your testes are not producing. They might never produce again. We need to start replacement indefinitely. Do you want to discuss why this might be?" I didn't answer. He wrote the prescription, Depo testosterone, 200 milligrams every 2 weeks. I went to my F-150 in the parking lot and sat there. The engine wasn't running, and I understood something I hadn't worked out before that moment. The substance I had put in my body from 1981 to 1988 to become a professional athlete was now the substance I had to take every 14 days for the rest of my life, just to sustain basic physiological function. Not to perform, not to compete, just to wake up. The math had changed. The math was the same. My ICD, the defibrillator implanted in my chest in November 2014, it is discharged twice. Once in 2017, once in 2021. Both times I was sitting in this chair. My ejection fraction in 1995 was 62%. It is now 38. The 7 years of supraphysiologic androgen exposure did that. The damage was already done when Matheson handed me the first prescription. The TRT just keeps me alive in a body that built the problem. That is the math. I can't make it come out different no matter how many times I run it. Dale Jr. last called on Father's Day 2022. 4 minutes. Tommy brings Ashlyn, she's 8, twice a year. She came at Thanksgiving, looked at the helmet on the TV stand, asked if it was real. I told her it was. She touched the face mask and said, "Were you famous?" I said, "In Beaumont." She nodded like that was a complete sentence. Maybe it is. The Pro Bowl alternate ring is in that velvet box on the table. 10-karat gold, 1985. I never started a Pro Bowl. I was good enough to be the one they call if someone else can't go. Alternate. I've been carrying this ring in my pocket, wrapped in a Kleenex, for 12 years. And some days I take it out 4 times and hold it and put it back. I told Tommy once when he was 12, this ring is what I was. What I am is somewhere inside this body, and I'm not opening that box for anybody. He's 42 now. He didn't ask me what I meant. They drafted me on numbers I bought. They're burying me on numbers I can't pay. The bench press never lied to anybody, except the man holding the bar.